Good morning to everyone. In yesterday's class, we discussed about inverting amplifiers and summing inverting amplifiers configurations, which we discussed in previous class. So, before discussing about summing type amplifier configurations, we need a small prerequisite basic. We need an actual basic here. So, what is the actual basic means? What is the actual basic means? So, this is a this is an operational amplifier connected inverting type inverting type summing amplifier. So if we go into the basic structure of inverting type summing amplifier, we go into the basic structure of this is inverting type summing amplifier. This is the inverting terminal and this is a non-inverting terminal. So the inverting terminal is connected with respect to input. This is a inverting type operational amplifier, that's why the non-inverting terminal is grounded. Okay, and at this particular point is called as virtual earth point or virtual ground point, and at this particular virtual earth point or virtual ground point or summing point, we connected the feedback resistance with respect to output. Okay, so we have to know we have to find we have to clear an additional point that the voltage at this point and voltage at this point are equal. Okay, voltage at this summing point and voltage at this summing point are equal, and voltage at this summing point depends upon the voltage of the this particular non-inverting type summing amplifier. That means if the voltage at this particular non-inverting type summing point is zero, at this point if it is zero, at that condition what will happen? At that condition, here the voltage at this particular virtual earthing point will also be zero. That means if this particular non-inverting terminal is grounded, at that condition only here the voltage will be zero and here the voltage will be zero. Okay, so this is about the general knowledge, this is about the general basic thing of inverting type and non same will be happen to inverting type and amplifiers and non-inverting type amplifiers. That means whatever it be the voltage occurred here, that the same amount of voltage will be occurred here. Okay, with respect to inverting operating amplifier and non-inverting operating amplifier, the feedback is always connected to the negative terminal of the operational amplifier, negative input terminal to the operational amplifier and output terminal. The feedback provided is negative feedback. The feedback provided is negative feedback. And additional important thing is if in an inverting type operational amplifier, non-inverting type terminal is grounded. In a non-inverting type operational amplifier, see, in this non-inverting type operational amplifier, if you explain this is non-inverting type operational amplifier, here inverting terminal is grounded. See, inverting terminal is grounded. Okay, right? So coming into the our discussion, summing amplifier configuration. In the discussion of summing amplifier configuration, we can explain two types. One is inverting type summing amplifier and second one is non-inverting type summing amplifier. Okay, so this constitutes the classification of summer circuit amplifier or addition circuit amplifier. So here we do the mathematical operation, that is addition. Okay, we are doing a mathematical operation addition with respect to inverting type amplifiers. The input signal here connected, multiple inputs are connected to the inverting terminal. Here it is an inverting summing amplifier, that's why the input signal is connected to the input terminals, that is inverting input terminal of the operational amplifier, and it is an inverting summing amplifier and so that non-inverting terminal is grounded. Okay, non-inverting terminal is grounded and a negative feedback is provided. Here with respect to output. Okay, negative feedback is provided with respect to output. So if we see clearly, so if we go to the circuit, this is about the circuit description. If we go on to the operation with respect to mathematical operation, so here we have if we see the mathematical analysis, here we have multiple inputs are connected to the inverting input terminal. See, V1, V2, V3, and currents flowing is R1, R2, R3. The resistances are R1, R2, and R3. What will be the currents here? The currents here is I1. And here the current flowing through the resistance R2 is I2. Current flowing is I2, and current flowing through the resistance R3 is I3. Okay, I3, and current flowing through the feedback terminal is nothing but I suffix F. We call that as a feedback current flowing through the terminal is I suffix F. Okay, so this is about the currents description flowing through the particular non-inverting type summing amplifier. Okay, so here there is a compensating resistance. Here there is a compensating resistance. This compensating resistance will act as a bias compensation, and it will eliminate the effects of biasing or effects of bias currents which is flowing with respect to the inverting type operational amplifier. So how to design the compensating resistance? Means compensating resistance is nothing but the equivalent value of R1, R2, R3, equivalent value of R1, R2, R3, which is parallel to feedback resistance. That means this equivalent value of R1, R2, R3 and parallel to the feedback resistance is constituted with respect to compensator resistance. Okay, and second thing we discussed is the non-inverting terminal is grounded. Okay, so this is an ideal operational amplifier, and voltage at this particular point is equal to the voltage at this particular node is equal to the voltage at this particular inverting node is equal to the voltage at this particular non-inverting node. Okay, so this particular voltage behavior, voltage of the inverting node and voltage of the non-inverting node depends upon the behavior of the non-inverting type operational amplifier. Here there is no supply connected to the non-inverting type operational amplifier, and it is grounded. That's why here the voltage is zero. Voltage at this particular node of non-inverting terminal is zero. Hence again, such that voltage at this particular node also zero. Both the voltages are equal. I call that voltage as V suffix A. I call that voltage will be V suffix A. Here again, the behavior of V suffix A is 0. The behavior of V suffix A is 0. Why the behavior of V suffix A is 0 means because non-inverting terminal is grounded without any supply. This node points of inverting terminal and the node points of non-inverting terminal depends upon the non-inverting terminal input voltage. Non-inverting terminal is grounded. That's why here the voltage at this particular non-inverting terminal node is 0, and hence again here the voltage at this particular inverting terminal node is also 0. Both the voltages are same. That's why it is VA is equal to 0. So if we do the mathematical analysis, so if we apply Kirchhoff current law, algebraic sum of currents is equal to 0, what will happen? I1 is equal to, what will happen to the current I1? So what will happen to this branch current I1 with respect to V1 and VA? That is V1 minus VA divided by R1, V2 minus VA divided by R3 plus V3 minus VA divided by R3 plus V0, output voltage V0 minus VA divided by RF. Okay, so that will be the mathematical expression. But what actually happens means, we know that VA is 0. We know the VA value be 0. That's why represented in this manner. So if we take the output voltage to the LHS side and all input voltages to the RHS side, what will happen? The output voltage expression. See here, the output voltage expression V0 is equal to RF into V1 divided by R1 V1 divided by R1 plus V2 divided by R2 plus V3 divided by R3. That will be the expression V1 divided by R1 plus V2 divided by R3 plus V3 divided by R3. This is the expression of output voltage. That means the feedback resistance here, it is cross multiplied. Okay, this is cross multiplied. So, and additional thing is, we refer this all resistances are constructed with a common rating. That means R1 resistance, R2 resistance, R3 resistance, R1 resistance, R2 resistance, and R3 resistance. These are and feedback resistance are constructed with an same rating. That's why R1 is equal to R2 is equal to R3 is equal to RF. So, okay, what will happen to the output voltage? Output voltage V0 is equal to minus of RF into, okay, minus of RF into V1 divided by RF plus V2 divided by RF plus V3 divided by RF. That means what we are doing means, we are substituting the value of R1, R2, R3 with respect to RF. We explain the value of R1. We substituted the value of R1, R2, R3 with the value of feedback resistance, with the value of feedback resistance. So this will be the output voltage expression. This will be the output voltage expression. So what will happen to V0? So V0 will be, V0 is equal to minus of, what will happen to V0? This RF and this RF and this RF will get cancelled. V0 is equal to, V0 is equal to minus of V1 plus V2 plus V3. Okay, minus of V1 plus V2 plus V3, minus of V1 plus V2 plus V3. So what happened means here it is an inverting type amplifier. In an inverting type amplifier, what happens to the inverting type amplifier? What will happen in an inverting type amplifier? Output is the inverse of input. Okay, output is inverse of input, or output value is inverted with respect to input. That is the observation we observed in inverting type in operational amplifier. Similarly, the case happened in summing type operational amplifier. Similar cases happened with respect to summing type operational amplifier. Similar condition is happened with respect to summing type operational amplifier. So that means here the V0, V1 and V2 and V0 is equal to minus of V1 plus V2 plus V3. That means the output is inverse with respect to input. Okay. So even though we are applying multiple inputs to the inverting type operational amplifier, multiple inputs are applied to the inverting type operational amplifier, the output behavior is nothing but inverse of input. Okay, so that is about the discussion. So coming to the second point, second classification of summing configuration is non-inverting type amplifier. Non-inverting type amplifier. See, the first observation what we got is from the circuit construction, non-inverting type terminal. Non-inverting terminal is having multiple inputs. V1 is a multiple inputs V1, V2, V3 with resistance construction R1, R2, R3 is connected to the non-inverting terminal, and it is a non-inverting terminal summing amplifier. That's why the input terminals are grounded. That's why the input terminal is grounded. Here, see, the input terminal is grounded. Input terminal is grounded, and even though it is a non-inverting terminal, non-inverting amplifier, the feedback resistance has to be connected with respect to output negative feedback. Here we have to connect a negative feedback. Here we have to connect a negative feedback. The main purpose of connecting negative feedback is to improve stability condition. Okay, to improve stability condition. How the stability condition is improved means the feedback, negative feedback will provide a particular gain value, and that particular gain value will improve the stability of the system. The negative gain value will reduce the high gain of the operational amplifier. Negative gain value will reduce or it will limit the negative gain value created by the operational amplifier will limit the overall high gain of the operational amplifier, and the stability condition is improved. That means negative feedback will create an additional gain. That gain will reduce or it will reluctant the high gain of the open loop operational amplifier, and the overall stability is improved with respect to this particular negative feedback condition. Okay, and the resistance is connected with respect to the inverting terminal of the operational amplifier, and that is also grounded. Okay, so here what will be the summing point voltage? The voltage at this particular inverting terminal node is equal to the voltage at this particular non-inverting terminal node. Here we have some voltage input. That's why there is an existence of voltage V suffix A. Previously, see previous condition. See previously in a summing type, in an inverting type summing amplifier, what actually happened in the summing type operational amplifier, non-inverting terminal is grounded. There is no voltage here. There is no voltage here. So here both voltages will depend upon the non-inverting terminal, and the non-inverting terminal is grounded. There is no voltage. Voltage is 0. That's why voltage at this point V suffix A is 0. But here at this case, multiple inputs are connected to the non-inverting terminal. There is a voltage existence with respect to A. Voltage existed is at this point A is V. So voltage at this terminal is V suffix A. Same amount of voltage is explained with respect to non-inverting terminal node and inverting terminal node. Okay, so the final voltage existed at this point is V suffix A, which is equal to this terminal voltage. Okay, so this is about the construction. How we constructed non-inverting type summing amplifier means non-inverting type amplifier. Inverting terminal is grounded. Multiple inputs are connected with respect to the non-inverting terminal. Okay, a feedback resistance is connected with respect to R suffix x, negative feedback is connected, and the output voltage is experienced here, and the input voltage is fed here. Okay, if we apply the mathematical analysis, if we explain the mathematical analysis, if we apply the KCL, at this particular condition, okay, what will happen to KCL? What will happen to KCL here? So current flowing through this terminal is I1, current flowing this terminal is I2, current flowing through this terminal is I3, and current flowing this terminal is I suffix F. Okay, so voltage drop across this particular resistance is V1 minus VA. See, V1 minus VA, this terminal is VA, V1 minus VA divided by R1, V2 minus VA divided by R2, V3 minus VA divided by R3. Why means here voltage, why here the voltage is VA means voltage at the inverting terminal node is equal to the voltage at the non-inverting terminal node. Why means this is an ideal operational amplifier. In an ideal operational amplifier, both the terminal voltages are equal. That's why here the terminal voltage is referred as V suffix A. Here the terminal voltage is referred as V suffix A, and we explained the KCL expression. And we have taken the input voltages to the LHS side and the terminal voltage V suffix A to the right hand side. So what will happen to V suffix A? V suffix A is equal to input voltages divided with respect to input voltages divided with respect to input voltage is divided with respect to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Okay, so input voltage is divided with respect to equivalent resistance. So how can we observe the behavior? This is about the terminal voltage V suffix A. So how can we explain the output voltage? How can we explain the output voltage? Means output voltage is explained with respect to voltage divider rule. Voltage divider rule. How the voltage divider rule is explained means V0 is equal to RF plus capital R plus RF divided by R into VA. Okay, this is about we define the output voltage. So if we simplified that is V0 is equal to 1 plus RF divided by R into VA. We know the value of VA, and we substituted the value of VA here, So what will happen to the resistance? How the resistance is explained means R1 resistance, R2 resistance, and R3 resistance is equal to R, and the feedback resistance is divided by 2. This is how we design the resistance value. If we substitute the R1 value, R2 value with respect to total value with respect to capital R, that means all the rated resistance are maintained with the same rating resistance, that is capital R. So output voltage is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Okay, that means here this is a non-inverting type. Summing amplifier. As per the application of non-inverting amplifier, what is the first observation of non-inverting type amplifier? Output voltage is the output voltage in phase with respect to input. That's why V0 is equal to the sum of all inputs. Okay, so this is about the classification of inverting type summing amplifier and inverting type non-inverting type summing amplifier. These both are the configurations of summing amplifier configurations. This is about the discussion. We got a brief discussion in yesterday's class. If you have any queries, just post in the chat box. We will come across them at the end of the session at our doubts discussion. So coming into the next classification of operational amplifier is differential operational amplifier. Coming into the next classification of operational amplifier is differential operational amplifier. So here see the differential operational amplifier. Okay, so normally with our discussion of inverting type operational amplifier and non-inverting type operational amplifier, with our application, what we say generally in inverting type operational amplifier, non-inverting terminal is grounded. In non-inverting type operational amplifier, inverting terminal is grounded. That means we are amplifying the signal with a single input only in inverting type operational amplifier or in Non-inverting type operation amplifier, we are amplifying the signal, whatever it may be. It is an voltage signal, or it may be a current signal, or it may be a frequency signal. We are amplifying only single input signal, and we are keeping the other signal as grounded. That means if it is an inverting type operational amplifier, if it is an inverting type operational amplifier, non-inverting terminal is grounded. Okay, if it is a non-inverting type operational amplifier, inverting terminal is grounded. That means what single signal is taken as an input, and other terminal is kept as kept in ground condition. But in standard operating amplifiers, we will take two inputs. We will take two inputs. See here, this is a difference operational amplifier. It is a difference operational amplifier. See, this is a difference operational amplifier. So here the output voltage V0 depends upon the difference of two inputs. Okay, that means V0 is proportional to VID. We know what is meant by VID, right? What is meant by VID? VID is nothing but difference between two input voltage V2 minus V1 or V1 minus V2. Okay, that means what we are doing here, in previous summing amplifier configuration, we did the mathematical operation addition. Okay, so here what we are doing the mathematical operation, that is subtraction or difference. Subtraction or difference. Okay, so here this is a standard operational amplifier. One second. Right, this is a standard operational amplifier. This is a standard operational amplifier, and here we have two inputs. See, inverting type operational amplifier, negative inverting terminal is connected with respect to V1. Negative inverting terminal is connected with respect to V1. Okay, current flowing is with respect to I1. Current flowing with respect to the terminal is I1 through the resistance R1, and the voltage at this particular summing point is VA, and the negative feedback is connected, and the feedback resistance is R3, and current flowing through the feedback resistance is I suffix F. Okay, and here the feedback resistance connected, the feedback resistance is V out. Resistance connected is V output terminal observed, output voltage observed is V out. Okay, and the positive terminal here, this is the non-inverting terminal. This is the bias compensating resistance. R4 is the bias compensating resistance. The main purpose of bias compensating resistance is to eliminate the null points of bias currents or bias voltages. Okay, the biasing effect is eliminated with respect to this bias compensating resistance. Okay, and the positive terminal is connected with respect to V2 supply, and a resistance, internal resistance is R2, and current flowing is I2. Okay, negative terminal, non-inverting terminal, internal resistance is R1, connected with the supply V1, current flowing is I1. Okay, positive terminal, non-inverting terminal, input voltage is V2, current flowing is I2, and internal resistance is R2. Biasing resistance is R4. Okay, feedback resistance is R3. Feedback resistance is connected to the negative feedback, so that the overall gain value is improved, and the overall gain is limited. Improved in the sense the overall gain is limited. Previously overall gain is very high, it is limited, and the stability is improved. Okay, and the second thing is current flowing through the feedback resistance is I suffix F. This is about the construction of differential operational amplifier. And if we observe the mathematical analysis, okay, so but the main purpose of explaining mathematical analysis is, here we are calculating the gain. Okay, what we are doing means we are applying the superposition theorem here. We are applying the superposition theorem. The superposition theorem is nothing but the sum of response of system is equal to the individual response of the individual section response of the system. So what we are doing means I can calculate the superposition theorem in two cases. First one is the case 1. At case 1, what I am taking means, at case 1, see, at case 1 the V1 voltage is active. At that condition V2 voltage is 0. And at case 2 or case B, what I am doing, at case B V2 is active. V2 voltage is active, and the V1 voltage is 0. Okay, so that means here at the first case we are taking single input from V1. At the first case we are taking the simple input from V1, and V2 terminal is grounded. Okay, V2 terminal is grounded. And second case, we are taking single input from V2 and V1 terminal is grounded. Okay, so if we explain with respect to the first case, that means V1 we are taking the simple input from V1 and V1 is active and V2 is 0 and V2 is grounded. So what will be the voltage drop across this particular resistance? What will be the voltage drop across this particular resistance? Voltage drop is equal to I1 is equal to V1 minus VA divided by R1. Voltage drop at this particular point, I1 is equal to V1 minus VA divided by R1, and voltage at this particular resistance, feedback resistance, R3 is nothing but feedback resistance, so that is equal to VA minus V output divided by RF. R3 is nothing but RF. R3 is nothing but feedback resistance. That's why it is represented as RF. We can represent that as RF, or we can represent that as R3. It doesn't matter. Okay. So we know that non-inverting terminal is grounded. Non-inverting terminal is grounded. Hence, the VB value will be 0. The voltage at this particular VB value will be 0. What will happen? VB value is 0, and again V2 value is 0. The main value VA value is 0 because VB value is 0. Okay. That means here we know that from the basic of operational amplifier, VA is equal to VB, because this is an ideal operational amplifier. VA is equal to VB. There will be no incoming currents flowing through the inverting and non-inverting terminals. There is no internal currents here. There is no inverting currents flowing in the inverting terminals and non-inverting terminals. VA is equal to VB, and the behavior of VA depends upon the voltage at this particular point node VB, and the voltage is at this particular node is 0. And again, because of VB is 0, VA is equal to VB. VA value depends upon the value of VB, and again VA is also 0. Substitute the value of VA is equal to 0 here. Substitute the value of VA equal to 0 here and VA equal to 0 here. And if we rewrite the expressions, this is the expression, that is V1 minus V1. If we take V1 minus VA divided by R1 and VA minus V out divided by R3, and if we substitute the value of VA as 0, this will be the expression V1 divided by R1, that is equal to V out divided by V output voltage divided by R3 minus of V out divided by R3. So what will be the value of V output? V output is equal to okay, V output is equal to minus of R3 divided by R1 into V1. Okay, so this is about first case voltage. This is about first case voltage, output voltage at case A. We defined the output voltage at case A. If we derived the output voltage at case B, what is case B? V2 condition. V2 input voltage is active and V1 is 0. That means we are taking single input voltage by grounding the other input voltage. We grounded the input voltage V1. Okay. So what will be the value? What will be the value of VB? What will be the voltage drop across VB? Voltage drop across VB is equal to, by applying the potential divider rule, that is R1 divided by R2 plus R4 into V2. Okay, we know that from the basic knowledge we know that a voltage at both the inverting terminal node and non-inverting terminal node are equal. That is VB is equal to VA. That is equal to, how to calculate the value of VA? So the value of VA is equal to R1 divided by R1 plus R3. Okay, this is the value of VA. Okay, if we equal VB and VA, VA and VB, this is the value of VB, that is R4 divided by R2 plus R4 into V2, and the value of VA is R1 divided by R1 plus R3 into V out. Okay, so I am calculating the drop across the resistances by using a potential divider rule or voltage divider rule. Okay, and equalizing voltage drop across VA with respect to the voltage drop across VB, these terminal nodes. Okay, what will happen? I am equalizing both of them, and I am substituting the R1 value with respect to R2 and R3 value with respect to R4 for simplification purposes. For simplifying more, I substituted the R1 value with respect to R2 and R3 value with respect to R4. Then what will happen? V output voltage is equal to R3 divided by R1 into V2. If we simplify this expression by substituting R1 is equal to R2 and R3 is equal to R4, then the value V output is equal to R3 divided by R1 into V2. So what will happen to the total output voltage? Total output voltage is equal to voltage output at case B, and this is the voltage output at case A. Voltage output at case A plus voltage output at case B. Okay, we are adding both of them. What will happen? The output voltage, V output voltage is equal to their R3 minus R1 in the case A and R3 minus R1 in the case B are same. That's why I'm taking common R3 divided by R1 into V2 minus V1. That means what we are saying at the conclusion, in a differential operational amplifier, output voltage is equal to the difference of two inputs, V2 minus V1. See, from the circuit we can clearly explain, in a difference operational amplifier, the output voltage depends upon difference between two inputs, V2 minus V input. That means V output is proportional to difference of two inputs. Here here with the application of operational amplifier, we did the mathematical operation, that is subtraction or difference. Okay, that means V output is equal to, see here the conclusion, what we are saying, V output, there is a output voltage is proportional to a difference of two inputs, V2 minus V1. Okay, if the input voltage V1 is higher than V2, then the output voltage sum will be negative, at this condition. Okay, if V1 is greater than V2, output will be negative. If V2 is greater than V1, the output will be positive. These are the two conclusions we discussed about, and this is about difference operational amplifier. We explained the difference operational amplifier by taking two inputs, V1 and V2. And we applied the superposition theorem, and we calculated the behavior of V output. That is, V output is proportional to the difference of output voltage is proportional to the difference of two inputs, that is V2 minus V1. Output voltage is proportional to the difference of two inputs, V2 minus V1. Okay, so this is about difference operational amplifier. So coming to the next discussion, that is differentiator amplifier. Differentiator amplifier is different from difference amplifier. There we did the mathematical operation difference or subtraction. Here we will do the mathematical operation, that is derivative. See, differentiator amplifier. Here the output voltage is proportional to the derivative of input signal. That means output signal is the first derivative of input signal. That is our objective. If we explain this particular difference amplifier, at this condition, see the circuit construction. Here we connected a capacitor here. See, here we constructed a capacitor at the input voltage. Previously we connected an input resistance. In the place of input resistance, we connected a capacitor of impedance X suffix C is connected to the input terminal. At what particular input terminal we connected? We connected the input voltage to the inverting input terminal, and the output of this particular inverting terminal is observed here, and the non-inverting terminal is grounded. Here. Okay, feedback resistance is connected, negative feedback. Current flowing through the feedback resistance is I suffix F. Okay, I suffix F, and this is the output voltage. Here we can observe the output voltage, and this is the V input we applied, and I input is the current flowing, and capacitor is connected to the input terminal, and the impedance of the capacitor is X suffix C. Okay, so if we explain the operation through mathematical approach, if we analyze the mathematical operation of a differentiator amplifier, so here we are doing the mathematical operation, that is differentiation, that is derivative. We are doing the mathematical operation, that is derivative. Okay, so if we observe the mathematical operation derivative, okay, the input voltage is equal to the feedback voltage. The input voltage is equal to the feedback voltage. Why the input voltage is equal to the feedback voltage? Means, see here, at this particular virtual earth point, the voltage is nothing but V1. We assume that is V1, and this is V2, and this is an ideal operational amplifier. And this is an ideal operational amplifier, and the voltage at this particular virtual earth point depends upon the voltage of the non-inverting node terminal. Okay, this ikkada node terminal voltage entaithe untundo, ikkada kuda node terminal voltage ante untundi. Kaani ikkada manam em chesamandi, node terminal voltage em chesamandi, manam zero chesesam, ground chesesam kabatti ikkada node terminal voltage em avutundandi, zero ayipotundi. Hence this node terminal voltage, this earthing point voltage depends upon this node terminal voltage, and this node terminal voltage is zero. Hence that terminal voltage of virtual earth point voltage is also zero. Virtual earth point is also zero. 1 second. So if we explain through the mathematical analysis, because of the node terminal voltage is zero, input current will start flowing in this particular loop. Current will start flowing in with this particular loop. That's why the input current is equal to the feedback current. Input current is equal to the feedback current. There is no current flowing with respect to the inverting terminal and non-inverting terminal, because this is an ideal operational amplifier. In ideal operational amplifier, the input currents are zero. Input currents are zero, and in ideal operational amplifier, voltage at this particular node depends upon this particular non-inverting terminal node, and voltage at this particular non-inverting terminal node is zero. That's why this voltage will, at this particular summing point also, the voltage will be zero, and current starts flowing at this particular direction. Current starts flowing at this particular direction, such that input current is equal to feedback current. So that input current is equal to the feedback current. See, if we explain the mathematical analysis, input current is equal to the feedback current. Input current is equal to the feedback current. So what will be the output expression? Voltage at this particular node, V suffix x, is equal to IF into RF plus V out. Okay, see, I will explain. 1 second. See here, what will be the voltage at this particular node? Voltage at this particular node, V suffix x, voltage at this particular node, V suffix x, is equal to IF into RF plus V out. Okay, voltage at this particular node is equal, x is equal to IF into RF plus V out. That is what we explained here, IF into RF plus V out. We know that voltage at this particular point is zero, because the voltage at this particular non-inverting node is zero. Since Vx is equal to zero, IF into RF plus V out, IF into RF plus V out is equal to 0. IF into RF plus V out is equal to 0. So what will happen to IF? If we take the value of IF is equal to minus of V out divided by RF. That means if we take the feedback resistance IF to the LHS side, and LHS side, and V out to the RHS side. Okay, so the IF value is equal to V out divided by RF into V out divided by RF into V out divided by RF. That is the value of feedback current. So what will happen to the current flowing through the capacitor? What is the capacitor behavior? Capacitor will charge at an instant of time, and later it will discharge, and the impedance of the capacitor, we said, that is x suffix C. So what will be the value of capacitor? Capacitor value, voltage across the capacitor is nothing but charge with respect to the capacitance. Okay, that is the standard definition of voltage. So actual charge, that is equal to capacitance of the voltage into input voltage, which we have given. So if we do differentiation So if we explain the different, if we apply differentiation to the both sides to the LHS side and RHS side, dq divided by dt, that is change in time, change in charge with respect to change in time, that is equal to C into input voltage differentiated with respect to time. Okay, so how can we explain this? Dq divided by dt, dq divided by dt can be explained with respect to, that is the change in charge with respect to time, differentiation in charge with respect to time, that is equal to input current, that is equal to feedback current. Okay, charge differentiation with respect to time is explained with respect to current notation, and explain the charge in current expression. That's why input current is equal to feedback current, that is equal to C into dV input by dt. Okay, so what is the value of IF? IF is equal to V out divided by RF. We know that from the derivation. So I substituted the value IF is equal to minus V out divided by RF, that is equal to C into dVn divided by dt. Okay, so if we multiply this particular, if we take this particular feedback resistance to the RHS side, there it will be multiplied, that is V output is equal to minus of RF into C into dVn divided by dt, dVn divided by dt. That means here this value will be explained as constant. That means what actually happens means the output voltage is constant times the derivative of input voltage. That means the output voltage is the derivative of the input voltage with respect to time at a particular time dt. Okay, with respect to particular time dt, the minus indicates the minus value here. The minus value indicates there is a phase shift, 180 degrees phase shift with respect to input voltage. Okay, that means what we are saying from this output formula, V output is equal to minus of RF into C into dV divided by dt, that is output voltage is derivative of input voltage at 180 degrees phase shift. At 180 degrees phase shift, at 180 degrees phase shift, output voltage is the derivative of input voltage. Output voltage is the derivative of input voltage. Okay, output voltage is the derivative of input voltage. That is what we explained. That means in the concept of differentiation, what happens means the output signal is the first derivative of input signal at a phase shift of 180 degrees, at a particular phase shift of 180 degrees. Once again, output signal is the first derivative of input signal. Okay, output signal is the first derivative of input signal. So if we explain, that is about the explanation of differential amplifier. Okay, there is a difference with respect to differentiator amplifier and differential amplifier. In this differential amplifier, what we did, difference operation amplifier, we did the mathematical operation difference. V out is proportional to V output is proportional to difference of inputs. Here what we did, output signal is the first derivative of input signal. Here we did the mathematical operation, that is derivative or differentiation. Okay, so what will happen if we give the, what will happen to the operational amplifier with the differentiator waveforms? If the input signal is square wave, see, if the input signal is square wave, this is the behavior of output signal. Okay, there is a rise in the input voltage of square wave, there is a rise in spike, and at a particular constant magnitude of square wave, there used to be a drop in spike. Okay, and later there is a constant with respect to the at zero voltage of the square wave. At zero voltage of square wave, 1 second. At a zero voltage of square wave, there used to be a constant with respect to this spike. Okay, and later and again it is a downward spike. That means the input voltage, if the input square wave is given to the input voltage, the output voltage will be a spike type structure. Okay, and if we give a triangular type wave to the input, that means if a ramp input is given to the input voltage, there used to be a rectangular output voltage at the output. And if we give a sine wave, input voltage at the particular input voltage, the sine wave magnitude is 0, but here we are having certain magnitude, 180 degrees or 120 degrees magnitude. That means if we give a sine wave magnitude, and the output voltage will be cosine. That means what will be the conclusion we are saying? The output voltage is the derivative of input voltage. This is with respect to the discussion of differentiator. This is with respect to the application of differentiator amplifier or derivative type application of operational amplifier. Operational amplifier. So coming to the second type, next type of discussion, that is next type of operational amplifier application, that is integrator. Integrator type operational amplifier. See, in the circuit here, integrator type operational amplifier, in the circuit of integrator type operational amplifier, so previously we can, in differentiator we connected the capacitor to the input terminal. Okay, so here what we did, we connected the capacitor to the feedback terminal. That is the difference. Okay, so if we observe the construction, if we observe the circuit construction, okay, input resistance is connected with respect to the inverting terminal. Input resistance is connected to the inverting terminal and input voltage is connecting to the inverting terminal. If the input voltage is connected to the inverting input terminal, non-inverting terminal is grounded. Okay, and the capacitive feedback, it is not similar to resistive feedback. It is a capacitive feedback connected here with respect to the feedback terminal. Negative feedback, even though it is a negative feedback, it is a capacitive feedback connected to the inverting terminal, input inverting terminal, and with respect to the output terminal. Okay, right. Input voltage is given to inverting terminal and the feedback, capacitive feedback is connected to the inverting terminal and output terminal, and positive non-inverting terminal, positive terminal is grounded. Okay, so this is called as integrator. Integrator. Here the operational amplifier is doing the mathematical operation, that is integration. Integration, that means out. So here what we are doing is output voltage is proportional to the integral of input voltage. Output voltage is proportional to the integral of input voltage. So if we explain this particular operational amplifier, integrator type operational amplifier, we are doing with the square wave pulse. Square wave pulse. If we are giving a square wave pulse as an input, okay, square wave pulse, and this square wave pulse is integrated with respect to the output in the form of ramp wave. In the form of ramp wave. That means if we give a square wave input to this particular input signal, we can observe a ramp type structure at the output. That's why integrator type operational amplifier is a ramp generator. It's a ramp type generator. This is very important competitive bit. Many competitive exams, this bit will come across in SSC section engineers and all type of, and in railway board exams and all type of core exams, you will get it. This type of bit is very important. Integrator type operational amplifier is a ramp generator. So how that means, if we see the mathematical analysis, how that means in the conclusion we will justify that how we can get this. Okay, so if we do the mathematical analysis, first we will define the behavior of output voltages here. The behavior of output voltage, here the behavior of voltages at the input. So here the voltage at this summing point depends upon the voltage at this particular non-inverting terminal, and non-inverting terminal is 0 because we grounded here, and here the input voltage is at this particular terminal, at this particular summing point terminal or virtual earth point terminal, the voltage is 0, such that the current I input will start flowing in this path. See, I input current will pass through I1, and next it will flow through IF, it will flow through capacitor, and it will flow through V output. Okay, that means the input current is equal to the feedback current. It will flow on the same path. Okay, so if we observe the voltage drop across this particular resistance, across this particular resistance, I input is equal to V input minus Vx, voltage across this particular resistance, divided by R input. Okay, we know that Vx is equal to 0 because non-inverting terminal voltage is 0 grounded, and this terminal voltage of Vx depends upon the terminal voltage of non-inverting terminal, and Vx is equal to 0. Okay, so I input is equal to Vx is equal to 0. Substitute the value of Vx is equal to 0 from the circuit description. I input is equal to V input divided by R input. Okay, so what will be the value of V input again? What will be this is the explanation with respect to I input is equal to V input divided by Rx. Okay, so if we observe the behavior of if we observe the behavior of feedback current flowing at this particular feedback loop of capacitance, that is IF is equal to C into dV divided by dt. From the capacitance expression, current is equal to capacitance into change in voltage with respect to change in time. So change in voltage, that is Vx, voltage at this particular terminal, Vx minus V output divided by dt. We know that the voltage at this particular, voltage at this particular output is, voltage at this particular Vx is 0. So what will be the value of IF? IF is equal to C into dV divided by dt. We know that IF is equal, input voltage is equal to the, input current is equal to the feedback current. Okay, if we equal both of them, I input is equal to feedback current. Input current is equal to the feedback current. If we equalize both of them, V input divided by R input, that is equal to minus of C into D out divided by dt. What will be the value of output voltage? Difference of output voltage D output is equal to minus of V input divided by C into R input into dt. So if we apply integration to both the sides, LHS side and RHS side, so integral of D output is equal to V, integral of D output, integration and integral part and differential part will get cancelled. V output will be remained if we apply integration to this side. And again, if we apply integration to this particular RHS side, 1 by minus of 1 by C into R input, that is the constant value. That is, this is the constant value into integral of V input into dt. If we apply integration to this particular particular expression, and this will be remain. So from this point we are saying what we can say means, from this expression what we can say means, V output voltage, V output is equal to some point K into integral of some point K into integral of dt. The value of, since the what will be the value of K? One second. What is the value of K? K is equal to minus 1 divided by C into R input. Okay, this is the value of constant. Okay, so if we apply the integration to this particular equation, this integration and differentiation will get cancelled. This V output terminal will be remain, and this entire term, capacitance into resistance at the denominator, 1 by C into R input, this is constant, and this is constant, that is represented in the value of K, integral of input. That means what we can conclude from this means output voltage is the integral of input signal. Output voltage is the integral of input signal. That means here the output experienced from the integration, experienced from the integrator is the integral of input signal. That means in an operational amplifier, in the application of integrator, output voltage is proportional to the integral of input voltage. That's why if we apply the input square voltage to the input terminal of integrator operator, the output will be in a ramp type structure. Okay, so if we observe this particular negative, if we apply this particular negative square wave input, there used to be a drop in the square peak, and again there will be an increase, and again there is a drop. So similarly the respect operation goes on. That means the integrator type operational amplifier is fed with a square wave input signal. It will produce a ramp type output. At that condition, the integrator type operational amplifier is a ramp generator. Okay,